The Shoemaker and the Elves. In a quiet village, beneath softly glowing stars, lived an old shoemaker and his gentle wife. The shoemaker was hardworking and kind, but no matter how diligently he worked, they remained very poor. Times were difficult, and soon only one piece of leather was left in his little workshop. One evening, with a gentle sigh, the shoemaker placed his last piece of leather on the workbench. His wife sat beside him, her eyes filled with warmth and kindness. "Don't worry, dear," she whispered softly. "We have each other, and somehow we'll manage." He nodded and carefully cut the leather, planning to sew a new pair of shoes the following morning. The candle flickered quietly as they went to bed, their hearts heavy but hopeful. When dawn painted the sky with golden light, the shoemaker rose early and entered his workshop. But when he opened the door, he gasped in astonishment. There, neatly placed on the table, was a beautiful pair of shoes, perfectly made and polished to a gentle shine. "Who could have done this?" he wondered aloud, amazed. His wife joined him, her eyes wide in disbelief. Before they could think further, the shop door opened. A customer entered and immediately admired the shoes, paying generously for them. With the money, the shoemaker bought enough leather for 2 more pairs. That evening, he again cut the leather and placed it neatly on his workbench, saying quietly to his wife, "We'll see what tomorrow brings." The next morning, to their wonder, 2 new pairs of shoes stood perfectly made on the bench, even more splendid than before. Customers arrived and bought them immediately, delighted with their beauty. As days passed, each evening the shoemaker carefully prepared leather, and each morning new, exquisitely made shoes appeared, bringing prosperity and warmth back into their lives. One evening, curiosity gently tugged at the shoemaker's heart. "My dear," he said softly to his wife, "I wonder who is helping us each night. Shall we stay awake and see?" His wife smiled gently. "Yes, we must find out and thank them." That night, they hid quietly behind a curtain, candlelight flickering gently around the room. As the clock struck midnight, they saw 2 tiny elves slip silently through a small crack in the workshop door. The elves wore clothes that were threadbare and patched. Though small and frail-looking, their hands moved swiftly and skillfully. With cheerful smiles, they stitched and hammered quickly and carefully, creating magnificent shoes. Finished, they danced happily around the workshop, their tiny voices soft and joyful, before slipping away into the night. The shoemaker's wife squeezed his hand, her heart touched deeply. "These kind creatures have saved us," she whispered gently. "We must do something to show our gratitude." So the next day, they set to work. She chose the softest fabric she could find and began sewing tiny shirts and trousers. The shoemaker carefully crafted little shoes and delicate coats. They worked all day, smiling warmly, their hearts filled with anticipation. That evening, instead of leather, they carefully laid out the small gifts they had lovingly made for the elves, then hid once more. At midnight, the elves appeared again, quickly climbing onto the bench. When they saw the clothes, their little faces lit up brightly, their eyes sparkling with joy. They giggled and laughed, quickly dressing themselves. Their new outfits fitted perfectly, making them twirl and dance happily. Then, with gentle voices, they began to sing softly, dancing around the workshop until the stars began to fade into the soft glow of dawn. "Our work here is done," said one elf warmly. "Now we must help others who are in need." The shoemaker and his wife watched silently from their hiding place, tears of happiness glistening softly in their eyes. Their hearts swelled with gratitude and joy as they watched the elves leave through the tiny crack, their laughter echoing gently into the dawn. From that day forward, the shoemaker and his wife continued to thrive. Their little shop flourished, and villagers came from far and wide to buy their finely crafted shoes. But they never forgot the kindness of the tiny elves. Each night, as the village fell peacefully asleep, the shoemaker and his wife closed their shop and sat together, hand in hand. They spoke softly of the elves, their kindness, and the magic of giving without expecting in return. The gentle glow of moonlight bathed the workshop in warmth, the village silent under twinkling stars. And each night, the shoemaker and his wife went to bed, feeling deeply grateful, their hearts filled with peace, friendship, and the gentle joy of kindness. The elves never returned, but their memory lingered in the hearts of the shoemaker and his wife, a quiet reminder that true happiness is found not only in receiving, but also in giving to others.